you don't love me. You're loving who I can pretend to be. Sometimes we're in an energy like, oh my god, like man, like oh my god. I low-key right now I'm like in my man hater era. Men suck. Guilty until proven innocent at this point. 80% of the people that live here are men. I couldn't breathe. I physically like couldn't breathe. I was like and they started talking to me and I was like, oh my god. Hi divas and welcome back. I've just been in the most interesting energy when it comes to relationships. Yesterday I was walking my dogs in the rain and I'm a little bit under the weather and a little bit sick. So I was wearing the most random outfit. I was wearing like two different color socks. I was wearing like platform, Havaianas, actually Crocs. I was wearing like those weird pants with like a scarf and like a hoodie, and it just looked really random. And I was thinking to myself, like, wow, like I really don't care. And then I was like thinking of all the times that I would have felt kind of like oppressed by the fact that I was looking like that in public. I live in a building that has only like young, hot people, and like 80% of the people that live here are men for some reason, like a little bit older than me men, which initially I hated, and I felt like so oppressed seeing hot men in the elevator. I was like there were some that I thought were so interesting, but when I walked into the elevator, I couldn't breathe. I physically like couldn't breathe. I was like, and they started talking to me, and I was like, oh my god. And then I realized, like, I was having that train of thought. I was like, oh my god, like, who cares about these men? Like, I've been having like a very interesting like point of like convo with my friends about how we have to show up as the most like authentic version of ourselves always, because the right person will like that version of yourself, and if the person is liking you for who you're pretending to be, there's no fundamental structure for that relationship. And I think honestly there's no joy and no fulfillment that can come from you pleasing someone else or trying to like kind of like trick someone into liking you, which I think is like, honestly, I've always like recently I've always been like this. When I had like a boyfriend, I was like, take it or leave it, because if you're not gonna love me for exactly who I am, I don't want it. You don't love me. You're loving who I can pretend to be, but like I'm not an actress. Maybe one day it would be iconic to be like in a romantic comedy, but I'm not an actress. Like, or you like this or you don't. And my boyfriends have always had like the most peculiar personalities. So I was like, yeah, like I like it. I don't know what exactly is going on with you, like that meme of like Cam. Like I don't know what's wrong with him, but I love it. It was kind of like that. Like I'll take this. Like my family is all like amazing, but they all have like their little things. So like my friends also, but it's like take it or leave it, and I'm taking it. There's people that I've walked away from, like I'm leaving it. But in a relationship, I truly think that it has to be like flourishing together, growing and like expanding, but also like character. Like believe it when you see it. People will show you exactly who they are in the first encounters that you have with them, maybe like in the first month. And they might alter themselves. A lot of people that put on personas, the persona that you're gonna enjoy the most. And then when you lose that respect for you, or like when you're about to like break up or something, you see like that initial like instinct that you had about the person come back, and you're just like like Oscar winning performance, because what is this? So I've lately been like my most authentic self, to the point of like overdoing it even a little, to be like like this is how far I can go with it. Like, do you want take it or leave it? And honestly, I have to say, like, everybody has not taken it. I also think it's like difficult for like women nowadays for you to be like very like strong and confident and like independent and like self-reliant and having all of your like ducks in a row. Not that I am that. I still have like everything to figure out. But even in the moment that I am having like everything to figure out and like just trying my best and like doing what I can, I think the fact that I don't need a man really like oppresses them. I feel like they would rather be with someone that they can like hold it over them, that that person needs them for whatever it may be, whether that be like financial, like emotional, like physical, whatever. But once you get to the point where you don't need them and you just want them, I feel like some men feel too insecure to sustain that. Some people have everything on the outside but have no stability on the inside, which I think is most men. The last like two guys that I was really into and saw like a lot of possibility, they were like the most I feel like that says something about me also, but they were so insecure and I was like willing to love them. I shouldn't have been willing to love them because there were so many red flags. But even with my willingness, I I think that they knew deep down that like at one point I would see like the cracks in the foundation and I would just leave. So like I think it was kind of like I'm gonna leave before I got labs, kind of like rejection, like God's protection and everything. But what I think is like the most insane that I've been like being my most authentic self and analyzing how people react to it. And I've had the most interesting reactions. Like obviously I exist like this with my friends and I have like the most like soulmates, soul sisters kind of friends because we like relate on that same level of like we're being who we truly are and we love each other for it. So I was walking my dogs the other day, yesterday even, and I was just like, oh my god, you know what? Like, I low key right now I'm like in my man hater era. Men suck. Guilty until proven innocent at this point because I just I know that it's gonna pass, but like last week I had like the most like bizarre experience with a man and it just proved to be like so insecure and so unstable and so like disrespectful. And I think like the last few experiences that I've had with men haven't been good. I've been really trying to like heal my masculine energy to like be able to attract better people. And I think I've been learning to stop like romanticizing and putting these men that are truly like not worth it at all on a pedestal that they will never deserve. So I've been really just like, you know, like that energy, like, oh my god, man. Sometimes we're in an energy like, oh my god, like, man, like, oh my god. Like, they do the bare minimum and it's like, slay queen, like, love you, like, love me back. Now I'm like in an energy like, who do you think you are? Like, who do you are? I think I am, but like, who do you think you are? Like, my teacher at like my, like, college job, I don't know what it's called. It's like me and my friends were like therapists at the spa in my college. Like it's like a thing that we have to do for graduation. And my teacher was giving us advice and she was basically like, you have to be up on the pedestal and you have to be like looking down and being like, I want them or not. Because in so many cases we're like putting them up on the pedestal and we're like, no, like I love you, love me back, when it's like in reality, what has this guy done to like deserve your love? Sometimes, most times, like 90% of the times, it's about them fulfilling a need that you have of being loved, of being appreciated, of being chosen, than it is about that specific guy. And sometimes when we're like scarce for options, when we need something that bad, person in closest proximity becomes like the target and we desire them. My sister used to always say this to me, like, you need to want to be in a relationship because you want to date that specific person and not because you want to date. Being a Pisces and like a romantic and like fantasy oriented person, I can create the most beautiful scenarios of that guy being like the most perfect guy ever. When in reality, sometimes he's not, or he doesn't want to be, or he has other priorities and he wouldn't be open to being. So that was just like, I don't know, it's kind of like I took my rose colored glasses off and I'm just like, yeah, that was like a little temporary 3 year long little mental breakdown. But it led me to where I needed to be. Like when I was walking on the street and I was like feeling that energy of like, yeah, prove me that you deserve me. Which seems obvious, but we would be surprised. It's kind of like unconscious, like we don't realize. We think that they're a good guy, but in reality, if we were to properly analyze it, like most of us, like girls, would never be in our friends' relationships because we're like, but for the person living it, it makes sense because like they've most times convinced themselves that it makes sense. But in reality, a lot of these relationships don't make any sense. And then I feel like the universe is kind of testing me. I was like, that was so interesting that that happened to me because now I'm like in a very good energy, like confident. Like I'm just gonna show up as myself, and I don't have to be freaked out. Like I don't have to be in the elevator, like like I can't breathe because this guy is so cool. Like is he? Is he that cool? No, we're cooler because we know everything about us and we know everything that we've done and everything that we're capable of. Not even, but like barely. And that already makes us so like phenomenal. So why are we so scared of these men? And then the universe obviously always wants to like put our like, knowledge to the test. And then I was walking back into my building, looking like a complete little maniac, and I see like my biggest like neighbor crush, and I was like, oh my god, like I was like I'm like ready to freak out. Like give me a second. I was like holding my two dogs. One of my dogs is like an elderly pug, and he has the biggest macho alpha personality. If you pull him too much on the leash, he will like physically like stop until you stop pulling him. And then when you stop pulling him, he looks at you like, and then starts walking. And this dog, like my girl dog, is a complete maniac on the streets. She wants to be like running for her life at all costs in all scenarios. And she never gets tired. So it's basically just in the middle of both of that, like him not wanting to walk and her wanting to like run for her life. And I was just standing there like wearing my outfit in this like position in front of like my neighbor across like the glass door, and I was like, yeah, I just told the universe that I was feeling super confident and that I wouldn't be scared anymore. So like let's prove it. Like they're giving me a chance like pass the test and prove it, and I was like, okay, like let me do it. And then I walked in, like wet hair, just Reina, frizz. And then he was like, hi. And I was like, yeah, hi. I was giving like 100% nonchalant. I was like, hi. And I said like thank you to like the guy that opened the door for me. And then my dog proceeds to be like all up in his business, like smelling him, like, and then he starts petting my dog, and I was like continuing to like proceed. And then I opened the other door, and I'm like, and then I call my dog like, let's go, like. And then he starts laughing, and I just turned like super like bye. I don't know this guy. Like he might be hot, he might be my neighbor, but it was like just an opportunity for me to ace this test and move on, and I'm happy for it. And I think I don't know, something just clicked when I entered this energy of we're the people that we should be admiring and putting up on the pedestal and just being like, oh my god, like I love myself and it's such a joy to be me. My mom always used to say this, that there's always a lid for every pan. Sometimes I feel like we're pretending we're a kettle, so like the person's lid would fit on ours, but we're shrinking ourselves to fit into something that is not for us. It's such a shame that so many of us are putting people like on a higher pedestal than us. Like, I'm not saying that we're better than anybody. I don't think that we are. But I think when we exist in this body as this person with our souls, there's no need to glamorize people that we don't even know. That we like romanticize like our lives, our journey, our story, and not constantly romanticize other people. Because you'll never know what's behind the curtain. And some very spooky things hide behind like the facade and the persona that the people are putting off. So I don't know what like my point of intention was with this. I've been feeling like under the weather and just a little bit all over the place. So I think I just wanted to come and talk to you guys. I love you. Thanks for spending time with me, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.